All right, so today we're diving into something pretty interesting.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking at Donald Trump's finances,
Mm-hmm.
specifically what he's been up to after leaving office.
Right.
A lot of people obviously know about the Trump Organization and all of his real estate holdings and stuff, but
Right.
he's been up to some pretty interesting things
Yeah, absolutely.
since leaving the White House, and we've got a whole stack of articles and data here to kind of figure out
Yeah.
how he's been making money.
And it is pretty fascinating. I mean, the thing is, financially speaking,
Yeah.
Trump has actually had like the most successful post-presidency
Really?
in U.S. history.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never would have guessed that. I mean, I just thought it was like golf and,
Right.
reality TV. I mean, how is that even possible?
Well, he's really good at leveraging his brand and, that base of really loyal supporters.
Yeah.
He's found all these ways to monetize that, that, past presidents haven't really even thought of.
Like what?
Like NFTs.
NFTs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Coffee table books.
Okay.
And then a really lucrative stake in a social media company.
So like digital trading cards,
Yeah.
not like bondings.
Yeah.
Is that really?
True digital trading cards.
I mean, isn't that kind of a gamble?
It might seem like it.
Okay.
But this is where, like, his understanding of his supporters comes in.
Oh, wow.
He knows they like to collect things and they want, like, exclusive access.
Right.
So he's turned, these digital things into millions of dollars.
Yeah,
It's unusual for sure,
it is. Yeah.
but it's working for him.
I mean, it's effective. I guess you can't argue with results.
Exactly.
So, okay, I get that.
Yeah.
But I always thought real estate was like his main thing. Like, isn't that where most of his wealth is?
You're right. A big chunk of his money is still in real estate.
Oh, okay.
But the market's kind of a mess right now.
In what way?
Well, interest rates are up. A lot of people are shopping online now, so retail spaces are struggling.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, work from home is impacting office demand.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So property values have been affected.
I mean, yeah, even where I live, like, rent is crazy, and there are so many empty storefronts.
It's everywhere.
It's a big problem.
Yeah, it's a trend.
So if real estate isn't doing so hot for him,
Mm-hmm.
what else does he own? Like, what else is bringing in the money?
Well, besides all the real estate, he's got a pretty diverse portfolio.
Okay.
And pretty flashy, to be honest.
Like what?
Well, multiple mansions, obviously.
Right.
Golf courses.
Sure.
Even a winery.
Wow.
And then there's the Boeing 757.
Wait, a 757? Like a private jet?
Yeah.
He still flies around in that.
He does.
Yep.
Yeah, he actually even used it during his
What
Tour de Trump.
is what?
Yeah, Tour de Trump cycling race back in 1991.
He had a cycling race.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I need
Yeah,
to hear more about this Tour de Trump.
Yeah. Basically, it was like his attempt to make an American Tour de France.
Wow.
It only ran for a few years in the early 90s.
Okay.
And yeah, he flew VIPs and sponsors around in his 757.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so private jets and cycling races.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not exactly what I picture when I think of him.
Right.
But it can't all be glitz and glamour, right?
Yeah.
There's that whole legal thing going on.
You mean the one where he has to pay $454 million?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So did he actually inflate his net worth, like they say?
Well, basically, the judge in New York said that he misrepresented the value of his assets.
Oh, wow.
For years.
Okay.
And he allegedly did it to get better loans and deals.
Right.
It's a serious accusation.
Yeah.
And if it holds, it could really impact him in the future.
Yeah, $454 million is no joke.
No, it's not.
But I'm guessing he's not just going to take that lying down.
You're right. His lawyers already said they're going to appeal.
Okay, so this is going to drag on.
Oh, yeah. This could go on for years.
Yeah.
And the outcome is going to be a big deal.
Huge.
It's a big question mark in all of this.
Okay, so big legal battle coming up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, before we get too deep into that, let's rewind a little.
Okay.
This whole money-making thing, did it just come out of nowhere?
Well,
Or was always there? Like, how did he get started?
Trump didn't exactly come from nothing.
Right.
His father, Fred Trump, was a pretty successful developer,
Oh, yeah?
built a lot of affordable housing in Brooklyn and Queens.
Okay.
That's where the family money comes from.
So Donald had a bit of a head start then.
He did.
Did he ever work with his dad before branching out on his own?
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
For a while, he worked for his dad before
Right.
venturing out to make his own, mark on the world.
On the real estate world.
Yeah.
Yeah, which he definitely did.
He did.
In his own way.
Yeah, for better or worse.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to some of these other ways he's been making money.
Okay.
You mentioned his social media company earlier. Truth Social Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something you normally hear about with a former president.
No, not really.
So walk me through that. How did that all start?
Well, it all started with the launch of Truth Social
Oh,
back in 2021.
right.
It was basically his way to create like a conservative alternative to Twitter.
Right after he got banned from Twitter.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember that was a whole thing.
It was.
So how's Truth Social been doing? Is it making money?
That's where it gets interesting. So the
Yeah.
platform itself hasn't really taken off,
Oh, really?
but Trump himself made a lot of money off of it
Oh,
through its parent company,
okay.
Digital World Acquisition Corp,
What is that?
or DWC.
DWC, okay.
So basically,
Yeah.
when news got out about the merger between DWC and Trump Media and Technology Group,
Cool.
which is the company behind Truth Social,
Right.
DWC's share price just exploded.
Oh, wow.
And Trump owns a lot of DWC stock.
So he made a ton of money even though the platform itself isn't really that successful? Wow, that's pretty savvy.
He's good at that.
It is, yeah.
You know, like using his brand and his followers.
Right.
Even if it's not, a normal way to do things.
Yeah. I guess he tapped into that excitement around Truth Social
He did.
and people who wanted to, invest in him and his vision.
Exactly.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Kind of.
The hype around him being involved made it valuable, even though it wasn't actually that great.
Yeah, you got it.
It just shows how powerful his brand is
Yeah.
and how dedicated his supporters are.
They really believe in him.
And they're willing to put their money where their mouth is.
They are.
Speaking of his supporters, they
Yeah.
seem to be a big part of how he's been making money.
They are.
You mentioned the NFTs and coffee table books.
Yeah.
Were those specifically targeted at his followers?
Oh, totally.
Okay.
The NFTs, the ones with him in all those poses, like
Yeah.
a superhero or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They were marketed right to his fans.
And they sold out,
Oh, yeah. Super
Okay.
fast.
making millions.
Millions. And the coffee table books
Yeah.
with pictures and stories from his time in office.
Right.
Those were a hit with his base, too.
I guess he knows how to turn political support into money.
He does.
He found his niche
Yeah.
and just went for it.
He knows his audience, that's for sure.
He does.
And he knows how to give them what they want.
Yeah, even if it's a
Even if it's a little out there.
little unusual.
Yeah.
It's definitely not your typical ex-president life.
Yeah, definitely not.
Instead of just fading away, he stayed in the spotlight,
Mm-hmm.
just in a different way.
In a very different way.
Yeah,
But he's still relevant.
he is.
He still has influence, and he's using it to make money.
Smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the good stuff,
Yeah.
the fancy stuff,
Mm-hmm.
the legal troubles, and these
Right.
kind of new and unusual things he's doing.
Yeah.
So what's next?
That's the question, isn't it?
Where is all this headed?
What's the future of Trump Inc.?
It's a wild ride,
Mhm.
and I don't think anyone can really predict what he'll do next.
Right.
But where do you think this is all going?
It's hard to say, like you said, it's a wild ride, but there are a couple things to keep an eye on.
Like what?
Well, first, those legal battles are going to be a big factor. That $454 million judgment,
Right.
if he ends up having to pay, that's going to have a huge impact.
Yeah, no kidding. And who knows what else might come up.
Exactly.
It seems like there's always some legal drama with him.
Right. It's a constant cloud.
Yeah.
But I also think he's going to keep trying new things.
Oh, yeah.
That's those unconventional ways of making money.
Like, what do you think? More NFTs?
Maybe.
A Trump metaverse?
I mean, he could.
Is that what you're thinking?
Oh, it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to try new things.
No, he's not.
And the metaverse could be a good fit for him.
Right. He loves to put on a show.
Exactly. And don't forget about his real estate.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Is he going to try to make that work again?
It's a good question.
With the market being the way it is.
Right.
It's tough to say.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like those properties are kind of like a family legacy for him.
They are.
Even if they're not doing so well right now.
Right.
I wonder if you'll try to revive them or just move on to other things.
Yeah, it's hard to know. I mean, real estate goes up and down.
It does.
So things could change, but he might also just decide to focus elsewhere.
So basically, we should just expect the unexpected,
Pretty much.
which is kind of par for the course with him.
Right.
He always keeps us guessing.
That's for sure.
I mean, whether you like him or not,
Yeah.
you have to admit he's good at reinventing himself.
He is.
Well, all right. As we wrap up here, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about.
Okay.
Given everything we've talked about, his business skills, the legal stuff, his investments, what do you think is next for Donald Trump?
That's a tough one.
I know.
But if I had to guess, I'd say he goes all in on digital stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe a new platform, more NFTs, something like that. He seems to really understand that online world.
He does.
and how to get people's attention.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like he comes up with things people didn't even realize they wanted.
Yeah, he's got a knack for that.
He does.
It's pretty remarkable.
Well, that's a great point to end on, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it there for our listeners to ponder what the future holds for Donald Trump and his business ventures. And as always, if there's something you want us to deep dive into, just let us know. We love a good challenge. And you never know what we might discover together. Until next time, happy diving.